Hi, I'm Chris from Sourcing Allies. Today we're going to be talking about MOQ, what it means and how it affects your business. Let's go. Sourcing Allies is a China sourcing agent with offices in the US, the UK, Sweden, and China. Visit sourcingallies.com for more information on how we can add value to your business. Today we're going to be talking about MOQ, or minimum order quantity. This is generally the least amount of parts that any supplier is willing to accept. This is based on many different things: their incoming raw material, any specialized parts in their product that they have to order in from outside, or just a general revenue number that they have to aim for in order to make it viable for them to do their business. We're going to look into a few tips of how you can possibly order your supplier's MOQ. The first tip for getting a lower MOQ is a relationship with your supplier. This is very important in business in China. If they can have an understanding of the type of business that you are you consistently placing orders? Are you paying your bills on time? Are you shipping quickly? Are you doing everything that you say you're going to do? It helps build the relationship. And once the supplier understands the risks involved with doing business with you, they're much more likely to lower their MOQ to meet your needs, because they know that the relationship with you is worth that sacrifice to keep you coming back. And so if you're starting off new sourcing in China, it's hard to have relationships already. Of course, you're just starting off sourcing in China, or you're looking for a new product. Maybe you've been selling something similar, but you're trying to expand your product line, you're trying to grow your business, and so you're trying to find a new supplier to build something that you already have been selling. It's good to have conversations with suppliers and help them to understand that you already have a market in place, that you've already been selling X number of units every year. It's very helpful to just be open and have a conversation with suppliers like this. And if you get to the point where you can't find anybody to have that conversation with, it's good to find a sourcing agent that works in the specific area that you want to source in, because based on who they already have these relationships in place and can use these to help lower your MOQ. Consider switching to a domestic material that's more widely available, preferably one that your supplier is using on a consistent basis on different projects that they're doing. So if you can find a similar product, even if it means changing your material thickness or changing the finish to match something that they're already doing, a lot of suppliers will have this type of material already on hand and are willing to lower the MOQ to work with you if you use a material that they have on hand. Another option is trying to increase your price. Now, this doesn't generally work because the increase of the price to meet the outside supplier's raw materials probably isn't going to be enough to make it worth it for your supplier. But as a Hail Mary, it can make sense to offer a 10 or 15% increase on the unit price just to see if they're willing to lower that MOQ. Now, finally, we should be asking, should you try to lower the MOQ? And almost always the answer is no, it doesn't pay off. In order to lower the MOQ, your supplier can have to do things like cut corners on quality, cut corners on packaging, or do something else to make up the difference in the money that they're not making. And so it's generally advised that if at all possible, don't try to lower the MOQ, especially when you're first starting off with a new supplier. If you have a long-standing relationship with them and you want to leverage that into lower MOQs, then that's something that you can work together with, because of course you have the relationship, you have the understanding that your business matters to them and they don't want to lose that, and so you can use that as leverage. But starting off with a supplier, going right in and trying to push for lower MOQs will usually lead to a lower quality part than what you were expecting, and so it's not advised. So again, the tips to trying to get a lower MOQ: a good relationship with your supplier, a domestically available material or a material that they're often using current on different projects, and then finally increasing your unit price. They don't always work, and the real question is, should you try to lower the MOQ or work to build that relationship with your supplier in the first place, where it's not going to be such a big issue in the future? Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. Please like and subscribe below. Leave us a comment if you have any question about sourcing in China, or find us on our website and send us an RFQ. Thanks.